Republic for which it stands,
Stands one nation,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
just for all.
The first order of business is the approval of the January minutes. We'll entertain a motion to approve, we'll second it, and then we'll, at that point, have some discussion on any comments or feedback. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from the January meeting?
Move we approve the minutes from the January meeting.
Thank you, MP. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Vince. Are there any comments or edits that would need to be requested of the minutes?
I have one. I mean, this is just a minor thing, but under the approval of the minutes last month, it said that the 2020, December 7, 2021 minutes were approved, Pam approved, and Vince seconded. I did not approve. I made the motion to approve. So if that could be reflected in the minutes. And then it said that Rob could not approve. I believe, I mean, I think when we vote, it's yay, nay, or abstain. So that would be an abstention. But again, that's just a minor point.
Thanks. Does anyone have in front of them? I don't have my minute notes on who motioned and who seconded.
I don't have any.
Are you talking about the minutes?
Yeah, just if we had that readily available from last month, we just correct it now with Kristen.
I can go back and watch the video.
Oh,
It says
Austin, too kind.
Well, it's in terms of the approval, it just said that Pam approved, but I actually made the motion.
Okay.
Vince seconded, and then 3
All in
members
favor?
approved, but it would be, you know, the motion passed with 3 yays and 1 abstention.
So I think we can, if we eliminate you from the second, is that what we're trying to do? Because I think it was only you, Vince, MP, and Rob last time, so
Right.
Yeah.
it had to have been MP then?
No, I think what Pam is saying is just that the wording is out of order. It's
I
that
got
she motioned to approve and then the vote was taken. And it
Gotcha.
was, yeah, 3 yays and 1 abstention. And it seems
Mhm.
like the word approved came up a couple too many times in the sentences,
Right.
right?
Thank
Okay.
you, MP.
Well, thank you, Pam, for that. We will note that. Any other comments, changes, or edits relative to how the minutes were presented? Hearing none, we'll call that to a vote. All in favor of approval of the minutes as noted to be corrected?
I,
Aye.
Aye. Okay, the motion passes. Thank you so much. Any public comments at the outset?
There is somebody, there's one attendee, she does not have her hand raised. If you'd like to speak, you can raise your hand and I'll let you into the meeting.
Okay.
If you want Joe maybe.
Joe, did you want to speak or share anything now?
Fine, this is okay. Not a lot to report during the winter months, but we are working still on the map, the new official map for the trails at Rockland Preserve. We're getting a lot of good positive feedback from the people from Durham who are very familiar with the Michael Ledges trails. And they're asking for some assistance on the maps to show that there's no bicycling on the trails at Michael Ledges. And so that's one of the things they've asked Jason to add to the map as well. Other than that, everything else is quiet. We hope to have sometime soon, if there's enough snow, and that's a big question mark sometimes, but if there's enough snow, we may have some grooming of the trails so that it'll be easier for cross-country skiing at the trails at Renee's Way. Other than that, I think that's about it for today.
Well, thank you, sir. We're looking forward to spring. Just two comments under the chair's comments. One is we do have an update on the sailing program. I just want to just personally thank Austin for putting a plan in place to put this out to bid. I think it just shows transparency and making sure that we get the best possible options, whether that is a public agency, private agency, a corporation, or an individual. So we'll talk more about that. I also want to thank MP. Last month's meeting, just having at the tip of her fingers the numbers in comparison on the survey, as well as draft pulling together the draft summary, which we'll review tonight. So thank you both for that. Is there any, the only old business on the agenda right now is the sailing program update. We'll let Austin bring us up to speed, and then Vince, if there's any additions, and we'll have discussion, and then we'll move on to new business where the director's report shows up. So Austin, we'll turn over to you for some updates on the sailing program, and then let Vince comment as well.
Thanks. And Vince has been a huge help. I think both of us together have come up with a good plan going forward. So thanks, Vince, for your input and help along the way, and sort of coordinating with the public and getting their input too, which is helpful. So I sent around to Vince and Rob today or yesterday, like a request for a proposal for a sailing instructional program. And in it, I have in red, so this will go out to the public in general, but I also state interested residents should feel empowered to submit alternate or additional service proposals to help accomplish the town's stated goal. So I'm not sold to a business or a company or anybody running it. If we get a individual resident or a group of individual residents who want to run this, I think that would be fantastic too. I think this just gives us the opportunity to get hopefully the best of both worlds and get responses from as many people as we can. So the RFP includes what the operator or the respondent would be responsible for, how they were still have to fine tune it just a little bit. But I think it's a step in the right direction. It's excited to, put this out there and see what kind of response we get, as well as, so if we do find an instructor and make this happen, I put together a sort of what the sessions would look like and the times, and look back at past sailing programs that we had. And there was 2 sessions each day, 9 to noon, 1 to 4. So we would continue to do that to try to get as many participants as possible. And I think this year, if we do it, it would be the first year back in a few years. So running 2 sessions, which looks similar to what we did in the past as well. So 1 session, July 11th through the 29th. So it's 4 weeks at a clip, and then 3 weeks, 3 weeks at a clip. And then I think it's 3. Then August 1st through August 19th. I'd like to, if we do it, stay away from in the second to last week of August. That seems when a lot of people go on vacation. So I want to give this program the best opportunity for itself to run and to get the most participation as possible. So I think we have a good outline. And now I think by the end of this week, I look forward to sending this out, making it public, and seeing what kind of response we get. Vince, anything you'd like to add?
Well, the only thing I would add is that I guess if an individual wanted to, a coach at the hand, a sailing team, or a teacher who's, looking for a summer job, some extra income, or a college grad who's, looking for a post-grad, waiting for a post-grad approval of a grant or whatever, that kind of person, a mature individual. I guess what you're saying is that they would have to be a third-party participant. They could not be a hire by the Beach and Rec department.
No, we definitely could do that. We could do that.
You
That's how it's
could
been
do that.
done in the past, yeah. So if it's a company, then yes, we would sub the program out. But if it's an individual resident of town or any other town who wants to just run it as a program through us, then yes, we could bring them on as a summer employee to run the program.
Oh, okay, great. Terrific.
How will people find out about this, Austin, other than accessing the website? Do you usually publish RFP notices in the paper or anything?
So it'll go on to the town RFP site.
Right.
We will, anyone who's made any sort of interest be known already through Rich or myself, we'll make sure that they get access to it. We could send it out to our mailing list, our email
That might
list as
be,
well.
yeah, that might be nice, you know, cast a wider net.
Yes, exactly. Yep.
We can send it out to Mark and David on the hand sailing team.
Yep.
You know, that kind of
Yep.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, anyone who you feel should have access to it that you've spoken to, we could definitely get them a copy of it, or just set up an interview with them. So I mean, an individual is not going to be, you know, as set up to run it as if a company would, but I would definitely interview anybody who's interested.
Great.
Terrific job.
So as we wrap that up, Vince, just a comment of thanks. You definitely shepherded this in, and we asked you to kind of take the reins, and we appreciate you working with Austin and getting this to this point in such short time, and see if we can actually stand this up for this summer. So we'll look forward to seeing our status next month. So with regard to new business, it's the director's report, pretty light agenda. We're going to go through Austin's updates, and then we'll go into the public survey results. Austin?
Thanks, Rob. So I just want to go over some of the things we're working on here. So although it's February 1st and we have, you know, a foot of snow on the ground, we are putting together our spring field schedule. So I have a meeting on Thursday with all of the related parties from the town sports organizations to discuss scheduling for the spring. So that takes place on Thursday. So it'd be good to get some FaceTime with those individuals and make sure we get everybody equal opportunity on the fields. Not only spring, but summer, I put out some feelers to all of the summer staff who worked down at the beach last summer to see what their status would be in returning. So gotten a lot of great feedback from those individuals as well. So before we post any jobs, just wanted to give, you know, those folks an opportunity to let me know what their interest is and how we're going to move forward with that. So that's ongoing. Had a meeting today to discuss putting together a surf club master plan. So I wanted to talk to the commission about how that's going to work and how you all can be involved in that. So we plan on developing an RFP to go out to, you know, somebody who could put together a master plan for us. And we'd like to have one of you sit on that RFP committee or ad hoc committee, if you will. So we don't need to decide that right now, but if anyone is interested in doing that, you can reach out to me and we'll get together with everybody. So,
Austin,
yep.
could I just ask quickly, when do you anticipate this will start?
So we plan on reviewing an RFP in March. So later next month, and then launching an RFP in April, and then hopefully hiring someone to develop the master plan in May. So there is no master. I think that's important to express, is we need to have a master plan for the facility known as the surf club. So we can coordinate projects in unison with each other and not do piecemeal kind of stuff. And it's a huge piece of property. will involve a lot of public input as well. And a lot of commission input, to be honest. And, I would like to have at least one of you sit in on the RFP drawing, just so you have some input going forward.
They're looking at like a 10-year plan or longer than that?
Probably 10-year
Yeah.
plan. Yeah. As far as program updates, winter programming is going really well. Ski bus started last Tuesday, and they're up at Mount Southington right now with some great fresh powder up there. So the kids are having a great time. We have 105 enrolled in the ski bus program. So Carrie did a great job in getting all the tickets and the different types of tickets to all the kids and chaperones and buses. And we actually have 2 vehicles, one parked at the high school for the high school kids to load their skis and snowboards in the morning, and then one vehicle at Polson for those students to, when they get dropped off by their parents, to put their equipment in. So we have one of the landscape trailers at Polson and one of our other vehicles at the high school. It just makes it easier so parents don't have to run around during the day trying to get the ski and snowboard equipment to the schools. Couple of new programs that started. We have a new dance program, which actually was something that was in the survey. It's a spin and sparkle dance program at the town campus gym. We also have a new program called Defying Gravity Pilates and a Mommy and Me program. So 3 new things. Like to add, new different types of programming each season. So those are just 3 of the newer things that we're running. We also have 19 people enrolled in cornhole, which takes place at the town campus gym as well. So they get together once a week to play that, and that seems to be going really well as well. I have no incidents to report on, so thankfully I can say that. And a few projects to update you on. I don't know if anybody's been out to the backside of Bauer Park lately, but the Walkway Construction has started. So they are all the way in the back. If you go past the community gardens, heading towards the high school, they have began construction back there. Took a tour of the site earlier last week, and it's going to be great. The company has some great ideas on how to do things and make it safe, and really looking forward to that. Hopefully, late spring. If you've been down to East Wharf lately, you'll notice we've redone the railings of the gazebo. So all the railings and the posts have been reconstructed, and that was all of our buildings and grounds guys did that on their own. So we'll look to get that painted in the early spring, so it's looks nice and fresh for the summer season. But the building and grounds guys did a great job with that. At Salt Meadow, you'll see the pavilion is erected and it looks great. And the only thing we're waiting on is the weather to turn, get a little warmer so we could pour the base, the concrete base. But it really looks great. The architecture of the pavilion, fits in nicely, and we've had a lot of good positive response to people seeing that there. We also met there this morning and toured the advisory committee, Salt Meadow Park Advisory Committee, around to where we think, and now they approve of, putting a new bathroom. So, the steps to that are ACA, planning and zoning. So we'll be undertaking that shortly. And next week on Tuesday, we have ACA, and following that, planning and zoning for the Salt Meadow tree landscaping project. So we are partnering with Mad for Trees, which is a group in town who would like to plant 200 trees to celebrate Madison's 200th anniversary. So we are able to do, I think it's 42 trees at Salt Meadow Park. So there was a landscape plan prior to this. And some of the trees that Mad for Trees was on that plan. So it'll be a good partnership. They have some great ideas for volunteering to plant them and watering them. So we'll be going to ACA next week to get their approval with a site plan review modification and a coastal site plan review. It'll be great. So some of the trees, if anyone's interested, will be red maples, sweet gum, oak, river birch, pitch pine, and tulip trees. So some shade trees, which will be nice. And it's the location of the trees will be the islands in the parking area. So if you drive into the park, it's tough to see now with all the snow because you can't distinguish sort of where you are. But in the middle of the parking area, there's 2 islands, and that's where the plantings will go. So thanks to those guys for helping us out to do that. And it'll be a win for both the town, our department, and the Mad for Trees group. So really looking forward to partnering with them. I could take some questions. Anybody have any questions about anything going on?
Just regarding Salt Meadow, I apologize if I missed it. The dog park status, I know we're not putting fences in right now. I know they were ordered, they were delayed. Just, do you have a target
so
date on that?
We will, the winter snow is tough. Can't really mark out anything, but the property's been surveyed. And as soon as the snow goes away, we'll mark out what we think would be a good dog park area. So the plans are there, the type of fencing, the height of the fence, just need to mark it out so people can see it and provide us with feedback. We've done research with other towns to make sure that we have enough land, and we definitely do have enough property on that side of the Salt Meadow Park to put that in. We're looking at, there's a standard dog park fencing of 5 feet. So we could definitely do that. It'll be black fencing. So it'll blend into the property. You wouldn't think that black would blend in well, but once you see a black fence, you really can't see it. You sort of look right through it and just see what's on the other side.
When do you think the dog park, when would you like it to be operational?
I would say early summer will be good. It'll, again, all of this has to go to planning and zoning, and Salt Meadow has approved of it. It just needs to, an actual rendering needs to be done. So there's still some work that has to take place, but I think we'll be on track for early summer, and we'll be enjoying the park, the dog park. I would say, yeah, right around early summer.
And then the only other question is, the American Rescue Funds, anything you want to highlight anything that's been approved that's going to support any of your projects, or are we still on schedule with what we had planned through?
Yeah, so nothing's been approved yet. They just formed the American Rescue Fund Committee. I guess it was last month. They have not met yet. So once they start to meet, then they will start going through projects that the town submitted, and they'll also be taking applications from other organizations in town as well. But yeah, really no update on that yet. We have, so in our CIP request, we have, which hopefully will be paid through ARP funds, is the Academy Playground, Surf Club Playground, East Wharf, West Wharf, and Rockland bathrooms. That's what we've submitted through the CIP program. So it's place mark in CIP. Once that gets approved, that isn't approved yet either. So, if it doesn't get approved for ARP, then hopefully CIP will pick it up, and then it'll just be a longer time frame if it goes through the CIP process, but at least there's a placeholder in there for it now.
Okay, just curious.
How
Thank
much,
you.
Austin, how much did we get as a town?
I don't know.
When I sent that article to you, Killingworth got what, 1.8 million, and they're, I think 14,000 population.
I'm not sure the exact number. I know a lot, we've spent some of it already on like emergency services type stuff. I could get you the
That's
number.
okay.
I just don't
I
know
just thought you
exactly.
had the number. It's okay. Are you still talking about projects?
I'll talk about whatever you want me to talk
Okay,
about.
so let me be a broken record. On behalf of the hundreds of people that play on the gym floor every day, and I keep getting asked the questions. So can you give me a speaking point that I can give these folks to when those bubbles on the floor are going to be fixed?
Yeah, so I talked to a vendor late last week about why the bubbles are there. And they responded that they think they know why. And they're working on getting a fix to why those bubbles are there. And on top of that, once we do fix the floor, we're going to try to have the lines painted down instead of with tape, because I don't think pickleball isn't going anywhere. It's going to be here for a while. And I think painting the lines on the floor
Great.
will, provide some more stability to the lines, and they're not coming up, because every time the floor gets washed, excuse me, some of the lines come up and you have to
Right.
step on them to put them back down. So we need a more permanent solution to the line gym tape than, so I think putting
Great.
permanent lines in, it's the right way to go. I mean, pickleball it's huge, all
Well,
over the
I don't-
country. And
I don't want
here
to
to stay.
I don't want to belabor the point, but I don't know whether you realize it or not, but Guilford just, I know we take a look at our neighbors around us to see what they're doing. And Guilford just put in 4 new pickleball courts up by Bittner Park. Old Saybrook has 3 pickleball lighted courts in their town. Westbrook just put in 4 pickleball courts that are screened in to protect against the wind. So, I mean, you're right. It is, it's a sport that's not going away. I mean, it just continues to grow.
Yep.
And so as I said, I don't want to be a broken record. Do you have any timing on when that floor might be fixed?
Soon. That's
Okay,
about as good as I could tell you. Yeah.
okay, I'll go with soon.
Just know that we're working on it. It's not, we didn't forget. It's just
Okay,
a
thank you.
process to get somebody down there to do it.
Okay, we're going to move on to new business. The other is follow-up. MP, thank you for sending that draft out. I wanted to open it up to see if anyone had any feedback, and we'll talk about that. And then I think the other thing we need to decide is when is the right time to put this out. Our next meeting is March. We'll start selling beach pass tickets in May. And the survey is more than just the beach season, but we know spring we start to ramp up. So I just want us to consider, do we want to, when do we want to get this out? So MP, do you want to just speak to a couple of highlights or how you approach this, and then we can get some feedback?
Yeah, I just pulled all some big points from the survey. There's a lot of data in the original file, but just kind of comparing to where we were with the last survey, highlighting things that are already in progress, things that can continue to be worked upon, and trying to find a balance between the good reviews and the opportunities to work harder. So it's very much highlights. I'm sure Austin and his office staff have gone over more finer points on some of the suggestions and critiques, And I imagine we can post this on the website for sure. It's a timing thing. It takes a little longer maybe to find space in the source. If I recall correctly, last time it took a little while before they were able to put it in. But I think the only thing that Austin mentioned in the projects that I did not highlight in here as far as upcoming is the bathrooms at Rockland, so I can add that in with the bathrooms at East and West Wharf if you think it fits.
Do you want to include that, Austin? Or we don't want to make a promise, but if you feel like the bathrooms are coming at Rockland, do we want to add that?
Yeah, I think, we've put it in for it, so, unless it gets denied, then it's gonna happen, yeah.
Okay. MP, I think you did a fine job of really getting to the points. It's well organized. Anyone have any other feedback or anything that you would have liked to have seen in here or surprised by?
No, I also wanted just to comment on what a wonderful job you did pulling this together into a summary narrative. And you allude to something, and I was just curious if you want to elaborate more for us, not necessarily whenever this gets published, but it says, thank you to those who appreciated the efforts of specific staff members. And I was just curious in your responses, who on our staff were getting the kudos?
But I remember specifically a lot of people mentioned that Anna was always helpful on the phone, which is great because I know she takes a lot of phone calls and is sort of our first line of customer service. So that's awesome. I know a lot of people appreciated Carrie's work on the concerts in the summer. I remember a couple of specific comments of the grounds crew taking good care of the fields. So those are the ones that I remember off the top, but I'm sure Austin combed through that and pointed them out to the particular people.
Good.
But it's nice to see specific positive comments,
Yeah.
Do you think we should include that? Maybe someone doesn't want their name out, but maybe we just say,
Yeah,
yeah.
I didn't want to go further than that in terms of, thanks for the people who noticed.
Okay.
And then I had one other question, and this is, I don't know how this is related to the survey, but I was on our website or on the town Beach and Rec website, and I noticed that there was a link to the beach report, but it dates back to February 2021, and it was the 2020 beach season. And I was just wondering if that report was going to be, if we're going to be updating this.
Yeah, we did update it. I've seen the updated one on there. I'm not sure. Yes, I'll look into that. We'll make sure that the newest one is there.
You might have two links and one is updated and one's not.
Yeah, that's very possible. Okay, and I'm still trying to figure out how to get the new newsletter and where to sign up for that.
Oh, I have that there, Austin. How do people sign up for that?
Yeah.
So if we have your email address in our system, you get it.
If you've already participated in a program and or purchased a beach pass?
Yep. Anybody
Automatically.
who, if we have your email, you get it automatically.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
It would be nice if there was an opportunity for people to sign up for it, even if they didn't, I know I've purchased beach passes in the past, but I don't receive the newsletter. So I guess I'm just curious if there was another way to be able to sign up for those. But
Yeah, as long as you're in our system and we have your email, I'll check your account, Pam, later.
okay.
As long as we have your email and you've done anything with us ever, and we have your email, then you should be getting it.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, again, that is a really nice addition, and the format is pleasant and, grabs your attention. So if that's Matt that was doing that,
Yes, yep,
yeah, give him a pat on the back from us.
I will.
That's
Yeah,
a good
that's a
idea.
great way for us to advertise. And it's not just a monthly newsletter. You could send
Mhm.
out, we've done updates on things like the mask program. We could send individual emails to particular groups as well. So like rec basketball, we've sent emails to everybody registered for rec basketball when the mask mandate changed. Yeah, emails are great. People read them and
Yeah.
they look forward to getting. It's a great line of communication we have with everybody.
And really, I think the majority of people who responded to that question in the survey said emails is the best way too. So perfect timing.
Austin, so I think, so we'll put it online and, unless there's a need to put it in the source, maybe we just do it through the newsletter and on the website. Are we in agreement with that? Do we need to go to the source? Just rule that out?
I
Or do you
think,
want to put it in
and
the
I think we'll get access to, the majority of people through our newsletter.
Yeah. And yeah, and I don't know if you want Peggy to add it to her blast if space is available, just survey summary is available on the
Sure.
Beach and Wax page.
MP, why don't we do this? Why don't you also just send that directly to Peggy and say, does she want to use this? I do think it's a bit of a public relations. I mean,
Yeah,
people will go to the website and they may get the newsletter, but
I can send it to her, sure. Or, well, maybe Austin should send it to her. What do you think, Austin?
I could do it. I have no issue.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I
And
will
then
make,
Austin, I think, oh, I'm sorry,
those
go ahead,
two
MP.
small adjustments and then send you a final draft then.
I guess, Austin, the only really question would be, and this is really up to you, it's for you to look at the survey results. I guess our gentle recommendation would be, I'm sure you've shared it with your team, share this with the team, but what do you want to focus on? So that when we do the survey again, we can say these were 3 areas or 2 areas. And I would just say, that would be for you to come back to us and say, look, these are 3 or 2 areas or whatever that we're focused on. I think that's your prerogative. It's not ours, but we'll support you in that. And, to the degree that you want to focus in on areas and we can help get you the resources and the support, we'd be happy to do that.
Thank you.
Again, MP, thank you. We're going to move to any public comments. I don't know if we still have a guest on.
So
Austin?
we do. Miss Bloom, would you like to say anything or are you just listening? It's up to you.
Okay.
Well, yep, no, she wants to.
Oh, hi. No, I'm just listening, but thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, thanks for joining.
Sure.
With no other comments, we'll move to adjourn. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Vince. Is there a second? MP? Then Pam, you're on mute, so I was saying MP.
Did
Okay.
MP already? I will second.
Okay. All those in favor? Aye?
Hi.
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Yes. Great to see everyone. Stay healthy. And thanks everyone for your time and all the work that you put in. Have a great week. We'll talk
Thanks,
to you later.
everybody.
Good night.
Thank
Thank you.
Thanks, Austin.